I'm live. Oh dear, I am live. But I don't know how to share this. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share this video because it is live. Oh, I should mute that. Hello, everyone. If anyone is here, I'm Victoria Wilder, and welcome to my home. I will repeat this intro in about maybe 2 minutes after I share. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. It's a terrible non-thumbnail that we have going on. So hi, welcome. I am using StreamYard, which is a different platform than what I'm usually using. My videos are usually just live on YouTube, but today I was supposed to be writing with my friend Josie. Unfortunately, she's having some computer problems, so she wasn't able to make it. It's just me, but I decided to go ahead and still use StreamYard because I'd already set it up, and I'd like to give it a chance and like just kind of see how it works for me. I did learn at some point that there is a limit to how long you can do videos on StreamYard, and I'm not sure how long that limit is, so hopefully it'll be enough to suit our needs today. Yeah, that's about it. We are on StreamYard. You could be watching this, you're probably watching this on YouTube. And you're probably watching this, if you're not here live, then you're probably watching this later in the day or tomorrow. Josie might show up, just so you're aware. Hopefully she can get her computer figured out and all that jazz. Until then, it's just you and me, baby. So welcome again. So today we are doing a write-in. And if you are new to the channel, basically what we do is I will ramble for a couple of minutes and just talk about what's going on in life and in my work. And then we will write for about 15 to 20 minutes. As you can see over here, I do have my clock. This is just my usual, my basic computer clock. And I just set a couple of timers on there for our uses. So we'll do a 15-minute sprint to start with, and then we'll go into a 20-minute sprint. And if someone shows up and they want to do different times, you guys can let me know about those. Let's see. I feel like these should be more in the camera, but they are not, because I guess I'm screen sharing. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, my friend Josie was supposed to be here with us today, and that would have been really exciting, but unfortunately she hasn't been able to make it because her computer is not behaving well, and so it's just me. I will be writing Scourge of Lilitu, which is the sequel to my first novel, Lullaby of the Lilitu. I don't know if you can see this. Lullaby of the Lilitu is the first book that I wrote and published. It's the first book that I finished anyway. Not the first book that I started, but first book that I published, and now I'm writing its sequel. And that has been an interesting experience, and I'm also writing it much faster than I've written my other two books. So it's been a learning experience. That's the main thing I can say about it. It's been a real learning experience, as every book has been. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see, just how this book and this whole series and this whole process turns out, and how life turns out, I guess. And especially at this time in the world, I'm really excited to kind of see where we go from here. Where we go in the indie author industry, where we go in just the world in general, in our country. There's a kitty in there. Yeah. So I am doing a Saturday write-in. I don't usually do Saturday write-ins, and it's actually kind of bright in here for me, but I generally do write-ins on Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays if I can't do Wednesdays, but usually Wednesdays, and usually later in the evening after it's already nighttime, after it's already dark. Sitting at my desk during the day, I do that, but I'm not usually writing during the day. I always tell myself I'm going to write, and I always tell myself I'm going to actually sit down and do some writing in the daytime, and I never end up doing it, and I never end up writing until the sun goes down. So my brain is just more creative and more active apparently when the moon's out, because as we all know, I am a night being, a vampire, a leprechaun, a troll, creatures of the night, a cat. I am all those things and more. So writing in the daylight, it's going to be fun and interesting. I did decide to do these earlier in the day because I wanted to make sure I can accommodate people who are up in the day, and because Josie is a daytime person, but it's not for me. Oh, Aphrodite Lee, hello. Hey there, welcome. We are preparing for our first sprint, and I think we'll start on the hour because I did start at a weird time. I just kind of clicked go live because I was sitting here waiting to go live for 20-30 minutes, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go now. But we will be starting in 6 minutes on the hour. Feel free to tell me what you're working on, if you're writing, Aphrodite, anyone else who comes in as well. What are you writing? What are you working on? What are you doing during this time of quarantine, of self-isolation, of distancing? How are you spending this time? Aphrodite Lee, I usually do all of my muggle stuff during the day and my creative stuff at night. Yeah, same. I'll clean up during the day. I will, take care of my cats during the day. If I cook, which I rarely do, but if I do cook, then that's usually something I'd rather do in the daytime or super, super late at night. There's no real in between for me. And then I do my creative things and my thoughtful meditation and breathing things and stretching. A lot of that I tend to do after it's dark. And if I wake up too early and I get too sleepy before it's dark, then I miss out on a lot of those things. I got my tea in my Paris mug, which I got in Paris inside of the Eiffel Tower because there's a store in there. And I do not regret these mugs. We recently had gotten gotten some shot glasses from New Orleans, and I accidentally put them in the dishwasher, and it melted them. And so when I bought these mugs, we were like, will they melt off? Will the art melt off in the dishwasher? And they have not. They've stood the test of time, and they're pretty awesome. Aphrodite Lee, I'm going to be spending some time catching up on emails and such. Good stuff. Catching up on emails during this time is really tough for me. I don't know about anybody else out there, but I don't know. I've just been in this mode where it's well, I'm not technically on vacation, but I'm on vacation. Don't email me. So there's a lot of emails where I have to go back and it's a week later, and I'm oh, I probably should have responded to this, but my brain is just away message. I'm not here for this right now. I'm dealing with a pandemic. I'm trying to survive. I don't know. But I should get back on that, I guess. Respond to people. The people who do email me, and it's not a lot. I have like 3 people who actually email me, and the rest are like newsletters. So we have 3 minutes. I did not come up with a prompt as usual, but let's see. We'll start with a 15-minute writing sprint just as a warm-up, and then we'll move into a 20-minute writing sprint, and then we'll probably do one more. I usually have about 3 in me before I get tired. Let's see if I can come up with a last-minute sprint. Your character gets a letter from the Illuminati. What does it say, and what did they do? So 2 more minutes. We will be doing our sprint. Like I said earlier, I am working on the sequel for Lullaby of the Lilith, and I am not much further than I was on Wednesday. Wednesday, I did a write-in with Josie on her channel, so go check that out if you haven't yet. But yeah, I'm not a ton further than I was last week either. I'm at around 13,000. Oh, nice. I'm at 13,353. So I got my 133 in there. And a nice couple of other numbers. Wow, time is really slow. It was 2 minutes to go, like a minute ago, and yet it's still 2 minutes to go. Time is irrelevant. Time is false. It's an illusion. We are being tricked. My internet was down for all of March, so I need to get in there and clear it out. Oh my gosh, all of March? That's so harsh. I'm so sorry. Like, especially right now, this is the time where the internet can be very, very helpful. And having it have been down the whole month, that is really tough. I'm very sorry. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad you can get back into some sort of normalcy, back into the zone. Okay, we've got 1 minute. We're going to have a 15-minute sprint. It is going to go until the 15, which is why we're doing it on the hour. It makes it a lot easier to track. So wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in, it's going to go until 15 minutes after the hour. And yeah, happy writing. Like, just get some words out there. I haven't written at all today, so I haven't even done any warm-up writing. So this is just going to be me jumping in. It is 6 o'clock now, so 15 minutes on the clock. I will see you guys momentarily, or well, in 15 moments.
Were you in my guitar case?
And that's time. So how did you guys do? I managed to write 184 words, a little less than my usual, but that is to be expected. It is a shorter sprint, and I got a little bit distracted by my kitten and a couple other things. Let's see how you all did. Aphrodite Lee. It was harsh. I live alone, and timing was just awful. No internet and no humans. I was truly alone. It's very sad. I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm glad you got the internet back. So even though I can have no actual human contact on total isolation, I can at least have virtual contact again. Virtual contact is good in this circumstance. It's better than nothing, right? Welcome. I'll be back and do a rewatch. Happy writing. Okay, so Aphrodite Lee, I think, has taken a step out some minutes ago. Well, when you come back, welcome back, and I wish you all the best in your having the internet and being back on the internet and having some sort of communication, because being totally isolated and being alone and not having anyone to talk to, that's hard. And I mean, I've done it, just because, but having to do it for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, that's super difficult. People are meant to be connected. We're meant to communicate with each other. So I'm really glad you got your internet back. Okay, so it is 6:17. Oh, excuse. Pardon me. Um, it is 6:17. We will do our next sprint, let's say on the 20, since it looks like it's just me at the time. Josie, I think, still is having some technical difficulties, so it'll probably just be me for the whole night. We will do another 20-minute sprint and then one more 20-minute sprint, and then we should be all settled. Close that window. That is not a fun thumbnail. I look so angry in the thumbnail for this, or just like down, sad faced, which is my natural state of being, sad faced, or at least tear faced. I cry at everything. So this writing sprint, this last session, it was okay, and that's the best I can say about it. I don't know. It was very, like I said, I wrote a little less than I did before because I did get distracted a couple of times, mostly by my cat. She's very precious. She's having kittens, so surprise, and she's just adorable. But she's a baby. She doesn't really know how to cat yet, so she's not really going to be great at teaching kittens how to cat. We'll see how that turns out. She could pop any day now. And so I was distracted by her a little, and just like, I don't know, trying to figure out exactly what I need to happen in this scene. I mean, I have my outline, it's a full outline, I have an idea of what does need to happen, but as I'm writing, sometimes things just kind of move and shift, and that's been happening so far. So I'm trying to figure out how to keep it on track, but also let these natural movements, let these natural shifts happen, and have it all kind of work, you know? So that's been what I've been trying to figure out. So you have one more minute until the 20. We will do a 20-minute sprint. I'll come back, I'll chat, I'll ramble at you guys, and then we will do one more 20-minute sprint and end with 3 total for the night. Cool. All right, it's the 20. So let's see if I can get you a prompt real fast. A shadowy figure has arrived, and the shadowy figure has an ultimatum for your character. What's the ultimatum, and how does your character respond? That is your prompt. 20 minutes on the clock. I will see you in 20. Happy writing. And time. Just gonna get in those last couple of words. Let me know how it went for you guys. That sprint, I was able to write 290 words, which cool. I actually only had like 170 something when I checked 6 minutes before the timer went off. So I had like a burst of words in that last couple of minutes. So that is pleasant and positive. Let's see. Yeah, so that went really well. We'll do one more sprint for 20 minutes before we get out of here, and we will do that sprint probably on the 45. It's been a chill day. This is a kind of a quick writing sprint, and no one's really here to chat with me today because it's a Saturday, and I'm not usually here on Saturdays. My usual crew is a Wednesday crew. This is still a good time to be here. I will be here, like I've said before, on Saturdays throughout April. And if this self-isolation thing continues, then I will probably do the same in May just to kind of continue this writing process. And hopefully by the end of the corona situation, hopefully I'll have a whole book done and maybe even be in a second draft by mid-May, preferably sooner, but we'll see where we are. This last scene that I wrote, I try to tell you guys about these scenes without giving too many spoilers. I think I might be done with the scene. I think I just finished the scene in that session. I'll go back if there's something missing, but I'm pretty sure I just finished the scene, and those last words are all the last words I really would need. And there is some information that in like the second draft I'm probably going to have to come back and flesh out because it's in my outline, but I didn't actually end up writing it in this thing, and I think it may be important. We'll see. We'll see. There could be another time where I can just add this information later on and it still applies. We'll see. But the next chapter, which I guess I'll be starting on the next sprint, I'm going back to Egypt. So I kind of have to do kind of a quick mental change because it wasn't in Egypt, this whole scene that I've been doing for the last couple of days. And now we're back. And we're back with with different characters because obviously my characters aren't going from one place to another from like immediately. I mean, they are traveling a lot, but this is just a different set of characters in Egypt. And so like my mind has to go away from the characters that I have been following all week to these other characters. And that actually is something I've done to myself throughout this whole book. There's a lot of scenes where it's like we're focusing on different characters in different places doing different things, and it all just kind of comes together to a point. But there's a lot of moving around, and that, that's future Victoria's problem. Right now, Victoria's problem is just getting into Egypt mentally. Um, and we'll do that in a minute. So our next sprint is on the 45. We'll do a 15-minute this time so we can end on the hour. And yeah, it's gonna be great. So your prompt is your characters have to travel far from where they are, and they can only bring 3 things. What are the 3 things they bring? And also, how does the scene go when they're traveling far, far from where they are? All right, it is the 45. I'll see you in 15 minutes where I will ramble for a couple more minutes and then say my bye-byes. And until then, happy writing. Look at the cat hair all over my face all the time, especially on my nose for some reason. It's the worst place to have cat hair during a pandemic. Hi, Carolyn. Mm. And time. So, how did that go? If you were writing, I was able to get 243 words. That's pretty good, pretty good. So, my total for this write-in video, hi kitten, hello, hello. Perfect timing. My kitten needs my attention, so we will be ending after this. But I do want to just let you guys know what my total was for the day. So we had 184 the first time, then we had 290 the second time, and 243 the third time, for a total of 717 words. That's pretty good for an hour and a half. For me, that is quite a bit. So we did it. Hi, V. Hi, Carolyn. So that was it. That was our write-in session. That was the third write-in of the day. I am going to take care of my cat. She is needing something, probably food or water, and or maybe she just wants attention. Maybe she actually likes me. Maybe, probably not. Maybe. Yeah. So that last sprint went pretty well. Like I said, I was jumping into a new scene in a new place again, or an old new place. 41 words this stream. That is pretty good. Good job, Carolyn. That's pretty great for 15 minutes actually. That was 15 minutes. So that was pretty awesome. Amazing. I love fast writers. I'm not a fast writer, but I'm always like excited and amazed to know people who write faster than me, any amount faster than me. So kudos to you and good job. So yeah, kitty. Yes, I have two kitties. I have a black cat that we just got in February, and then I have Brooklyn, she's a gray tabby, even though she's a little orange-ish. And I've had her for 3 years. We got her in November 2017, so 2.5 years. Yay, you were inspired by my prompt. Yay. So your character was able to travel and go far, far away from where they were. I guess technically I used the prompt too, because my character, or at least my story, traveled from where one character was to another. And yeah, it's actually not that hard to write, because even though they're in Egypt, they're inside. So I didn't have to like figure out how the exterior looks. I just have to know where they are um, inside of where they are, if that makes any sense. The building that they're in, what the room looks like, and all that stuff. And the room they're in, because I love drama and like lavish things, is like full of gold and like silk and like flowers, and it's really pretty. In my head, I don't know, I didn't write all of the prettiness, but it's in there. Carolyn, I was just doing a stream of conscious brainstorming, which makes a lot of words. That's very true. You can get a whole lot of words when you're just like trying to just putting words out. You're not like specifically trying to make it sound a certain way or like following a outline or anything like that. You're just getting words out. That's when I tend to have the most of my words as well. My character is going across the country and bringing a sentimental object with her. Maybe a lock of hair of a friend. Nice. Maybe a lock of hair in a locket. But very nice. That's cool. I might include Egyptian elements in my story too, as you should. I'd love to see more Egyptian things in stories, just more things in general that are not in one place and not like either Europe centric or America centric. And while most of my book is going to be either one of those, because my characters are based and in/near London, my main character is a Lullaby of the Lilith. Hi, baby. They are in near London, and so it's very Euro focused as far as like geography in the first book. The second book, they spend a little more time in different places. There's still a lot of time in Europe, but also I am in Egypt, and then we do take a small time in Brazil. So I would like to just kind of see more places and have more places in my stories. Okay, so I close the timer. It is 7:05. I am going to go ahead and, yes, mummies, have mummies. I don't see a lot of mummy stories. That's exciting. I mean, it's been a while. Like the last mummy story I can think of that I've indulged in was probably The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser movie, with what's her name? The really cute lady who plays Evie. What's her real name? I know her real name, but she's like super pretty, and she's also in Constantine, and she's just like, I love her and I miss her, and I don't know where she is. And I also don't remember her name at this moment. But yes, mummies are wonderful. Also, Buffy had a mummy. That's it. So I will be back here on Wednesday to do another write-in. Usually I do them later in the evening, so it'll probably be around 8 or 9, depending on my sleep schedule. If it's going to be earlier, it'll be earlier. If it's going to be later, it'll probably be the next day. And I will let you guys know at least like 10 minutes in advance before there is a new video. I will also be reading my book at some point. I have been going to sleep at like an actual human time lately at like 9-10 p.m., which mind-blowing. So I haven't been up reading, because I usually, if I'm reading, it's usually like 4 in the morning, and I've actually been asleep at that time. So that's why I haven't been reading these books the last couple of days, but I will get back to reading Lullaby of the Lilith soon, within the next couple of days, if I have to do it earlier in the night or when I wake up in the morning, because I've been waking up pretty early as well. Then I will do that, just to kind of get back on track of reading for you guys. But officially and plannedly, I will be here on Wednesday, and then back here on that next Saturday, possibly with Josie, since she couldn't make it this week. Not enough mummy stories lately. I'm a Scooby-Doo fan. Yes, Scooby-Doo is pretty awesome. Scooby-Doo. Like I've watched all of the movies. I watched probably maybe not the recent series, because I don't have a TV and I just haven't had an interest in going and looking for it. But I did watch, at least like a couple of years ago, there was a more recent Scooby-Doo that when I nannied, my kid would watch, and so I was watching that for a bit. And yeah, Scooby-Doo is pretty awesome. Also, there was this episode recently, like I think in like season 14 of Supernatural involving Scooby-Doo, and it was like one of the best episodes ever. Just like the perfect crossover. Scooby-Doo and my Winchester boys made me very happy. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for being here, Carolyn. Thank you so much. Thank you to Aphrodite Lee as well for being here, and for anyone else who was here in quiet in the, yes, I love the old cartoons as well. Anyone who was like lurking, thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. I will see you guys on Wednesday for sure, and possibly before Wednesday to read Lullaby of the Lilith. If so, that'll be early morning or late night, or sometime in between the witching hour, by the witching hour, around the witching hour. And until then, happy writing. I'll see you next time. And please always, 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 always remember that someone out here loves you. I love you. Take care. Bye.